Kia ora, good morning, welcome to my morning ramble for Thursday the 21st of July 2022. Quite nice weather today, going to get pretty hot apparently. We're in for a few more days of heat after some thunderstorms and rain and stuff, so once again things are going to go positively grow worthy, and the weeds are just going to get even weedier and so on and so forth. But anyway, it is what it is. Commit so much energy to tasks. So this morning yesterday we got some news that our culvert has apparently been installed, so we're just waiting for some verification of that. Hopefully from some friends down that way, and let's assume the best and that everything is basically all good there and nothing got disrupted and all went well. We'll follow up with the county about that today, and we also got some news that we're going to be breaking ground with excavation, etc., starting 8th of August, which is exciting. But it's also only a few weeks away. So I guess logistics is on my mind, and probably will be for a while. Excuse me. Little humid and muggy out here, so I'm just kind of doing the thing. Anyway, so yeah, logistics. So a lot to do. Adds a certain degree of pressure, I guess, to a whole bunch of things. And bear in mind, we're not actually planning on moving straight away, but mushrooms. Nice, a lot of side effects. Lots of mushrooms kind of growing here and there. I need to go and do a walk, obviously, and see if there's anything that's edible and harvesting worthy. Anyway. Haven't had fresh mushrooms for quite some time. Where was I? Logistics. Oh yes. So excavation is first, and there's some stuff that we are still to sort out. I think I mentioned way back, but if I didn't, I'll repeat it again anyway. That in our original design, we'd allowed for a certain amount of space for the home site or the eventual house site. But when Dawn and I both were down and siting it, walking it and measuring it properly, didn't quite fit the bill. Just really wasn't quite enough there. And so that has involved some rethinking. And the end result of that rethinking, nothing drastic, because we were looking at putting the driveway through and putting in an area for the temporary homestead, which will end up being where various outbuildings and things are. So by temporary, I mean it's temporary living area for now, for a few years while we build, and that simply means that needed to move a little further down, which actually kind of worked out, I think, because that's a little lower down. It means it's a little flatter to start with. We can actually get more area in, and that will probably be helpful for the short term at the very least, but longer term, because the kids can have their little places and stuff there, and that's kind of what that is. So yeah, all of that pretty much has to be ratified. And hello, our neighbours are, not sure if you can see this on the phone here, they're growing, just ignore the weeds and stuff, remember, no sheep. They're growing corn this year. They've always grown soy, so that's interesting. I just noticed that for some perverse reason. I'm obviously not spending enough time down here as I used to. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so logistics. So yeah, we're going to have to ratify some of the stuff and lock it down. I got some time with the excavator, and we'd both worked out, what was going to happen. But one of the things that we do kind of need to do, Dawn and I need to do, is really just, and again, I think I mentioned this in another ramble, is finish out determining exactly what we are going to be placing and how it's actually going to be roughly positioned. And the one thing that is on my mind, Dawn and I are back and forth on this at the moment, is how much of the top home site, if any, do we excavate to start with? And the reason for this is twofold. One, by having a larger middle tier or temporary tier or middle earth is kind of what we're referring to it as. That's all well and good. But if we don't do anything on the top area, we're going to get a lot of water runoff. That's going to, whereas previously that would have run down the hill and ended up at the bottom, it's now going to run down what's left of the slope on the ridge, on the hill, and end up on the flatter part of the property, which is okay. We can put a drain in and all that kind of stuff. But and this is something that's probably going to have to happen anyway, but where I'm going with this is that even if we're not building the house out, we still probably want to clear all the trees. If we're going to go to that trouble, then maybe putting the initial cut, even if it's not the full dimensions to start, and even if it's not going to be surfaced or anything, it's going to end up being pretty muddy, but it means at least we can actually have a flatter area up there that we can work with. If it's better for panels, we can at least put the panels temporarily on there. We can also start working on the preparation for the main house as well over time. So a few considerations there. And I know it's a bit late in the piece to be trying to nut these things out, but the downside of logistics is we didn't have a firm date. Sometime in August was what we got told, and as luck turns out, or otherwise, it's now earlier in August as opposed to mid or late. So we now need to bring these decisions to the fore and make them and get them done. Now, nothing here is irreversible. If we don't quite get the sizing right, we can always add more size and lay down more gravel and get a digger in and dig more area and stuff in ourselves if we need to, or whatever. Work with some other friends in our community who've got earth moving gear and contract them to do it, stuff like that. Just comes down to time and money. But our budget is limited at the moment. We have to work within that. Our time is limited because we're still 387 miles away or something. So one way. So having a trip down is 6 hours plus. So we need to work within these constraints. Cost of gas is obviously working against us with everybody. So it means when we do make these trips, they have to be again managed time-wise to make sure we make the most of it. And then on top of that, we have to work around paying jobs because both of us are working, but we work at different ends of the week. So that's a thing. And again, if for some reason one of us doesn't work or Dawn doesn't work, she doesn't get paid, so that again impacts money. No. Back to logistics again. So, constraints. We're just going to have to do what we can with what we have. But the plan is to get this done, this phase complete, and is exciting. And then once we get that done, we will work out what we need to do next and how to execute that. And that really means getting the RV up to speed, tidied up and all that stuff, because we're going to be moving that down for sure. It also means, as I have discussed, I'm going to have to get all the solar and stuff sorted out. We have a generator which will be fine for a while, and obviously we need to get all the water and the totes and things down. So, you know, that's going to be a little bit of a back and forth logistics exercise. It's probably going to involve several trips, and once those trips have been completed, then we have a fairly aggressive regimen of work that's going to need to happen in a relatively short time frame to, you know, get things up and running. And I guess, you know, if that doesn't succeed straight out of the gate, then we're going to have to go with the plan B, which might be fall back to Ohio for a week or two, or it could be just do the best we can with what we have. It's going to be a little uncomfortable for a while, so we'll just have to see how we go there. But anyway, change is never really smooth, so just got to be resilient and roll with the punches. All right, that's all I want to ramble about today. Got a lot to get on with, so yeah, hope you all have a great one. Kia ora, and ramble again tomorrow. I'll be on the same topic if it's still dwelling on my mind, but we'll see how we go. All right, be well. Bye.